what I need you to do is keep pushing. All right, listen, I was in a hard season, man. Work felt like work. I never felt like coming into work. But now that I'm out of it, listen to me, man. It's over with. So listen to what I need you to do. I need you to keep pushing, all right? Because now that I pushed through that hard season, the character, the endurance, and the integrity that was built in that process, now that I'm out of it and I'm in a good season, it's gonna allow me to murder it, right? Every opportunity, I'm executing on it. So continue to push, all right? Because when the opportunity comes, you wanna be ready for it, right? Because you don't rise to the level of the occasion. You rise to the level of your training. So what work are you doing now, whether it be good or bad, that's preparing you for when that opportunity comes so you can execute on it. So listen to me. Keep pushing. So let's get right into this high taper. We're going to start off by just brushing down the client's hair, and now we're going to set in our bald line. So we're going to use our trimmer to create this bald line right below the bottom of his ear, and we're going to do this all across the back, letting the weight of the trimmer do the work. You don't want to cause too much irritation here. And now we're going to flip it around and bald it out. For this next step, we're going to come in with our lever all the way open on our Wahl magic clips, and we're going to go up a thumb's width here. I would say this is about a full inch, and we're going to continue to maintain that shape that we created with that bald line. And I'm going over it a few times just to make sure that it's truly a lever all the way open in this guideline. And now to start getting rid of it, I went ahead and closed that lever, and as I move up in this guideline, I open up that lever gradually until we get this line completely blended out. So you'll see me just play with the lever, and then by the time we get towards the top of that guideline, it should be a lever all the way open. Now we're gonna come in with our number 1 guard with the lever open again. And still we're going up a full inch or thumb's width, and you want to make sure as we get into the longer length that you're combing or brushing the hair down, because you want to make sure that you're having a consistent even blend. So I'm just continuing to go over it. Now you'll see right here, I went ahead and closed that lever, and this is just to lighten up that line between the open and the one open. And it's not going to fully get rid of it, it's just going to lighten it up, so when we come in with the half guard, it's a little easier to take out. So I'm going to point out that faint line right here. So I'm coming in with my half guard with the lever open, and I'm just attacking that line, really using the corner of the blade because I don't want a chance going up too high. And then I'll gradually go ahead and close that lever as we move down. And we're just working here, trying to figure out what works and what doesn't. Now for the biggest guard that we are going to use, we're going to grab our 2 guard with the lever open. And we're not really trying to create a guideline here. We want to come off the shape of his head. So I'm coming in with that 2, and as I move up into the curl length on top, I'm going to go ahead and flare out just like that. And now we're just kind of blending down. So after this step, we're going to come in with our 1.5. And I'm continually starting to comb. As you notice, I'm using a comb and not a brush. That's because a brush is just going to pull all the hair down. I only want to comb down the hair that's necessary. And you'll see towards the top, it's going to get pretty difficult to blend this just because of the color of his hair. And plus he did the color himself, so it's not all the same color. So now we're going to come in with the 1.5 open and then gradually close that lever as needed. And what I mean when I say that he did it himself and it's not all the same color, as you can see, it's kind of orangish, but towards the top of this taper where the hair is starting to bunch up, it's a lot more brown than orange. So that discoloration is kind of going to throw us off a little bit while we're blending, but we're going to make this work. So we're coming in with our 1 open here, and we're just detailing what that 1.5 couldn't get. And as you can see, it's starting to get a lot blurrier. It's starting to look a lot more blended. But we're going to come back to this when we reline it in detail. So now we're gonna move on to the high taper on the side. So we're starting at the top of his arch and then moving towards where the ear connects to the head, and that is gonna be where we establish our bald line. Now let's go ahead and follow it with the shaver just to get it a little closer to the skin. And I did use the shaver on the back of this client's neck, I just didn't record that part. And now let's get into the next step. Just like we did in the back, we're gonna come in with our lever all the way open. And we're not going up as wide on the side as we did in the back, and that's because we're working in a very much smaller area. And now to get rid of that line in between the open and the bald, we're gonna come in closed and then gradually open up that lever. And that taper in the back is looking super blurry, but when we put the line on there, it's really gonna make that blend pop and bring everything together. Now to get rid of that faint line, I'm using the corner of the trimmer, just because the lever closed couldn't do the job. Now I'm using the shaver to detail a little more, because it wasn't as blended as I wanted it to be. Then we grabbed our one guard with the lever all the way open, and we're going up just a little more. And I would say instead of this being about a thumb's width, it's about a pointer finger's width that we're going up. So I went ahead and closed that one guard just to lighten up that line again. And now we're gonna come in with our 1.5 with the lever all the way open. And I do think this is the biggest guard that I use here on the side taper. And I'm just trying my best to blend into that curly length on top, because he likes his taper high as in no arches, but he doesn't like for it to kind of go up into the curls too much. And now right here, we're using our thinning shears to keep that shade of darkness at the top of this taper, but at the same time trying to blend it out. So I'm coming in with my comb and then flaring out slightly, and any hair sticking out of the comb, I'm just gonna attack that with my thinning shears. And as you can see, it started to get pretty blended. And now we're gonna line up his nape area. So we are starting at the top of his ear, and then we're gonna go to the bottom and connect those 2 points in the middle. And the reason I'm starting at the top of the ear is just because I don't want to risk going up too high in this area, and white walling him is what they call it. I want to keep it as natural as I possibly can. But you can see as we put the line up on his nape, it's really making that taper come together and, you know, look finished, look polished. And this lining came out super sharp. It's making the tapers look super nice. And now we're gonna go ahead and get into the front lineup. So he doesn't like to taper down his hairline, he just likes to comb down those baby hairs and line those up. So that's what I'm doing right here. I'm starting in the middle and then moving towards his left side, trying to make this as straight as possible, but at the same time keeping it as natural as possible. But he has a very nice hairline, which makes it super easy. So we're just gonna follow his natural lining as best as we can. And as we put the lineup on there, you can see how it brings out, you know, slight imperfections in the taper that we need to go back and detail. But it's really making the cut look a lot more finished, a lot cleaner. And now we're moving towards his right side, doing the same thing. Now we're gonna clean up his box a little. And this lineup is coming out super sharp, super clean. And I'm gonna face him towards the mirror to make sure that it's straight, and then go back and, you know, touch as I need to. And unfortunately, my man wanted to shave his beard, which I was salty about, but we're gonna go ahead and shave his beard. And from this angle, you can really see that taper. It's looking super blended. It's really starting to pop. And you know what, man? I'm jealous of people that can grow a super full beard but choose to shave it, man. I'm jealous. So when y'all ask me to shave it, I get super salty, but it's all good. It's all good. Now we're gonna go ahead and lean the client back to get ready and attack his facial hair. So with this chin hair, we're just gonna follow the lining that he already has there. He likes to kind of round it towards the end of it and then going towards the bottom. And you can see just from his goatee that his facial hair lines up super nice. So if he would have kept the beard, Man, that joint would have been super sharp. But we're just cleaning up his face here. And now we're gonna use the razor to go ahead and sharpen up his hairline, take it to another level. So we're stretching the skin in the opposite direction of which we're using the razor. And it's just adding some longevity to that hairline while at the same time making it sharper. And it's looking super clean. Now we're gonna do the same thing to the other side. And this razor is just really polishing everything off and making it look a lot more finished. And now we're gonna go ahead and clean up his eyebrows just a little bit. You know, get rid of all those hairs that kind of make him look super bushy. But fam, my man came in with colored hair. This is the before and this is the after. I hope this video helped you in some way, shape, or form. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about this cut. And while you're at it, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And I will catch y'all next time.